that? Whoa! Get the man.
What did that person do?
They're shining something in the... They're hiding behind the sign. And they're running for cover behind Portland police. Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me.
It's kind of wild. Shoot everybody else to shoot one person.
The bullets you got, come on.
Shining the light when you get mad at somebody else.
We should be allowed to hear what the fuck they're talking
Nobody
about.
told us anything, so we're standing there. We don't know what's going on.
Oh my God, is this the
It's just like she's literally running behind you guys. Yeah, and we don't know why she's running. So.
Nice. Nice aim. I love that. Whoa. Get the man. That AR is really nice.
What did that person do?
Well, they were trying to shoot a guy on the burning away.
I was like, fire! Fire!
Let's go, boys! God bless Trump! God bless Trump! God bless Trump! Trump! God bless Trump! God bless Trump! Yeah, fuck you! Ride your bike, you fucking fag! Go get a job! Yeah! Go get a job! Loser! Fucking loser! You fucked around and you found out! Oh, loser!
You guys are going to get your ass beat if you don't quit. I'm serious.
Hey, get your buddy. Get your buddy.
Back up, man! You ran into me! What the fuck?
Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Trip his ass! Trip his ass! Fuck you! Get the fuck out of here! Fuck tall pussy! Get the fuck out of here! Get out of here! Jump you, dude! What are you doing? Get out of here! They're violent right now. Dude, get fucked up! Get out of here! I don't know where they are! Get out of here! I'm sorry, you need to go. I don't want you to get hurt more than you are. I don't know where they are.
So let me address a few of the comments from my previous video, like this one right here. It says, losing your core narrative here. I love what you've been standing for, but I feel this is giving fuel to another fire. Think about your purpose and outcome of what you are showing. Or this one, nah, this is wrong. Dude had no right to snatch his glasses. I'm a fan of yours, but don't spin it like this. He snatched his glasses off of him. And then this one talking about snatching glasses. And then this one's a rather longer comment you can pause to read. The overall sentiment here is that I'm condoning violence. Let me respond to this real briefly. I went to Chicago recently, and I was helping a group out there that is patrolling the schools in their predominantly Hispanic neighborhood because ICE, just a few days prior to me being there, had snatched a mother out of the school pickup line. If you are a parent, I want you to think about something. I want you to think about being in the school pickup line and then some masked individuals who refuse to identify themselves snatch you from your car. Now, you know your kids are about to come out of that school and nobody's going to be there to pick them up. The only thing you're thinking of as a parent is what's going to happen to my kids. If you snatch me and kidnap me, who's going to get my kids? That's got to be the most terrifying fucking moment imaginable. As a father, I honestly can't imagine it. So this neighborhood had to put together a group of people to literally monitor the school pickup lines around their neighborhood so they could warn the parents if ICE was in the area. That morning that I was there was a woman on the corner of that same neighborhood who had been selling tamales from that corner in that neighborhood for the better part of 15 years. ICE kidnapped her. She was 80 years old. And after we finished the school pickup line, we were riding around the neighborhood, and I got to meet a couple of the vendors that sell like tacos and enchiladas out of a spot near their house there. And the lady who runs the spot was talking to us, and got to talking about the lady who sells tamales that got kidnapped that morning, and she broke down in tears, and one of the volunteers gave her a hug, and it was a very emotional moment to witness. And people were talking about how they were scared to leave their homes and how their neighborhood felt like a prison and how ICE was terrorizing them, and parents are scared to let their kids go to schools. And this is, quite frankly, an absolutely fucking disturbing thing happening in our country. And that guy that was walking down the sidewalk saying, "Go ICE, go ICE," he's literally condoning actual violence. You see, that's violence. Just because the terrorism is state-sponsored doesn't mean it's not terrorism. ICE is a terrorist organization terrorizing neighborhoods for no good reason. And just because it's state-sponsored doesn't make it okay. So this guy condoning masked men snatching people from school pickup lines and courthouses and workplaces gets his sunglasses snatched. Listen to me. They're sunglasses. I don't give a fuck. Would I do it? Would I snatch his sunglasses? No. Am I going to shed a fucking tear because his goddamn sunglasses got snatched? They're replaceable. Go buy some new sunglasses. It's not the kid's fault that snatched the glasses that the idiot fell down while running either, by the way. Acting like this kid did some great violence against this man is crazy work. The guy fell down. He fucking fell down. You know what he could have not done? Ran after the kid also. This is a guy who was standing on the corner rooting on the same organization that I just described terrorizing neighborhoods, and then was using the F slur. Go back and watch the video where he's throwing slurs around at kids, and then chasing down a kid. He's a grown man chasing down kids. So you want me to fucking condemn these kids snatching his glasses? Fuck off. This guy literally is condoning violence in this country. He's condoning an environment of violence where we allow masked men to kidnap people from their fucking homes and fucking cars and fucking workplaces. He's condoning a violent environment, and he got his sunglasses stolen? Yeah. Sorry, not fucking sorry.
Of people, especially voters, is that there's been sort of a failure of imagination from Democrats to take Trump seriously.
Well, they better take him seriously now. They better take him seriously.
Have you communicated your displeasure with anyone in the Democratic Party about the way they've handled Trump?
No, I like what Newsom has done because he's trolled him and he's fought fire with fire, and that's what you have to do. And he called him an invasive species, which is what he is. And so he's not. He's a thing that doesn't understand. Trump does not understand anything about humanity, people. He has no empathy. I don't know what he is, but he's an alien, and he wants to hurt this country. It's something deeply psychological in him. He wants to hurt people. He wants to hurt this country. He doesn't care. And what saddens me the most, upsets me the most, is that people follow him and they think and they kiss his ass, look up to him, and I don't understand it. I don't understand the people in his cabinet, some of them, Rubio, other one, how they can live with themselves after what they've allowed him to do and not stood up. Even walk out of the room when what they did with Zelensky the first time. Rubio, looking at his face, they got the camera on him. If he had balls, he would have walked out.
What's going on in Washington, D.C.? I'll ask you this first. Because he does this magic trick, he's passing out pizza, and it's all about big balls, and we're all laughing at what's going on in D.C. Yeah, he's passing out pizza to the troops. If there was a slow-moving coup, let me just describe some of the steps, and you tell me if I'm being paranoid. First, create a masked police force. Get people used to looking at that. Normalize snatching people off the street. Get them used to that. Normalize seeing the National Guard and the military on the street. Then start talking about crime in the capital, which is basically, has always been a fairly crime-ridden city. This is our nation's capital where elections are decided. And then because the crime is so bad, have other states start sending their troops. Not just the National Guard there in D.C., but now at least 6 other states are sending their troops, which then Trump can then federalize. So you're having many states' troops on the ground there, and now they're under federal control. So you have in the Capitol a sort of permanent police presence. So when an election dispute might come up, just hypothetically, I mean, I don't want to be a big pessimist, and I'm going to pretend for the rest of the duration that the Democrats do have a chance of winning, and they might win the next election. I just don't think they're ever going to take power, because this is what's going to happen. Because I think this coup is going to go off a lot smoother than the last one.
I am free and speaking here today because people like you and many among you today decided to speak up and advocate on my behalf and made noise. So actually noise does make a difference. They said we are deporting those who are here illegally, the undocumented. I was legal from day one. I was documented from day one. I did everything right. Yet I was detained for 73 days at the Butler County Jail. I was reading Nelson Mandela's diary's autobiography in jail. And he said the criteria on deciding whether a nation is civilized or not is not how they treat their highest, it's how they treat their lowest. Some might argue and say, it was just one mistake. It was just one exception. They detained you by mistake because of misinformation. I'm telling you, that is not true. I do not have 34 felonies in my record like other people. Majority of people out there are not criminals, are not illegal, and are not documented. The greatest fear of an oppressor is not weapons, is not political pressure. It is an awakened righteous anger. And that is what we are doing here today.
The Arizona Attorney General sent your office a letter asking that Grijalva be seated. Do you have any plans to respond to her? Do you feel you're on good legal standing?
It is no surprise that yet another Democrat politician from Arizona is trying a publicity stunt. I've explained this 1,000 times. We are going to swear in Grijalva as soon as we get back to legislative session. So my advice to all the Democrats in Arizona is to tell their 2 senators, Kelly and Grijalva and Gallegos, to do their job and vote to open the government so we can move forward with our business.
Okay, first of all, you pedo protector, Speaker Johnson, it's Gallego, not Gallegos or Gallegos, it's Gallego. Number 2, for this last year, you have sworn in multiple Republicans in while you guys were in session. And you finally landed on this excuse, because your first excuse was, well, I gotta wait for the certification to happen. Then your excuse was, well, I did it for other people because their family was in town. Well, Grijalva brought her family in town. You still didn't do it. Then your last excuse is that she deserves a pomp and circumstance, and that still didn't work because Grijalva just wants to get sworn in and take care of her people. Fact is, you're a pedophile protector. You're protecting the pedophiles on the Epstein list. There's just no denying that. And your idea that somehow us trying to make sure that 24 million Americans do not have their insurance rates premiums doubled is stopping you from doing your job is just pathetic bullshit. Again, Gallego, learn it.
It's time for the Trucker John Livestream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John Livestream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John Livestream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna of your life. Gonna talk some shit, hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Oh yeah, it's the Trucker John Livestream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John Livestream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. It looks like my green screen's all messed up. I'm looking a little ghosty. I don't know why I have to go in and readjust it. I haven't touched it in forever. But I don't know. It's not looking right. It's not looking right. Maybe it's the shirt. I don't know. Throwing everything off. Where did he go? I don't know, man. I didn't like it. I don't know, man. I guess we'll just have to live with it. Anyhow, good morning, everybody. It's 9:33 a.m. in the Pacific time zone. I guess you guys can hear me okay, right? Is everything coming out through? Good morning, everybody. Alrighty. It's about 74 degrees, I think. Expected high of 83, so we are in mid-80s this week. And nice blue skies out. We got 39 watching, but only 29 thumbs ups. Come on, folks. You know my feelings about this. I don't want us to be operating like Republicans with a big deficit. Let's hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button. Let's be good. The good Democrats I know we can be, and at least be at a balanced budget. Maybe even a surplus if possible. Would be nice. Anyhow, I'm not able to scroll to the top. You know the thing. You know the drill. I'm not able to go to the top of the chat to the beginning. The thing won't let me. So we're picking up. I did see Fancy was first, though. I saw Fancy first, and then Jolie, and then after that, does it really matter? I don't know. But I do appreciate you guys being here. MJ Daniel's here. So this is where I'm picking up. I'm picking up in the chat where MJ Daniel says, "Hey Jolie." Just in case you guys were wondering where I'm at. And I keep looking at myself on my camera here, and I look all faded out. I look faded. Maybe I need a filter. Where's the filters? No, that's not a filter. Let's see. Do I need a filter? I don't even know which button is for the filters. Maybe it's this one. Oh yeah. Let's see. Should I go with sharp? How's sharp look? I only have 3 choices. The other 4 choices you have to pay extra for. Let's see. I don't think that did anything. I don't think that it did anything. Let's see. What about this one? I don't even know what that one was. There's that. I don't think this is going to help. But I am looking kind of ghosty. Maybe that's okay though. Since it's kind of we're getting close to Halloween, maybe I should look like a ghost. I don't know. I see Rainer Nolawaka in there. Nolawaka says Trucker John is a wonderful person. He deserves 100,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Lynn Lynette, I do see Lynn Lynette in there. I don't know. I just wish I could figure this out. I mean, they have these little slide controls here, and I'm just trying to slide it. It just, no matter what, it just seems off to me. But okay, all right, it is what it is. All right, guys, thanks for being here. 40 watching, 31 thumbs up. So again, we're at a deficit. Ugh. I feel like a Republican today, and it just makes me feel skeevy. I do see Roxanne 79 was apparently singing some Bob Marley lyrics, and it's funny because last night I was watching I watched about a half an hour of a YouTube video that someone had taken downtown at Fremont Street here in Vegas, and apparently I don't know who Julian Marley is. I'm assuming is a direct relative of Bob. I don't know if that's at this point, because he looked like a fairly young person in his 20s. Maybe that was his grandson, maybe his great grandson. I don't know. You know how time flies. But definitely a relative of Bob, and they were playing reggae music. So anyhow, that's a lot of Marley stuff going on at here. If you are in town, if you come to Vegas, there's a thing at Mandalay Bay. It's called I can't remember the name of it, like Road to Freedom or Freedom Road or something like that. And it's a whole Bob Marley thing. And I haven't done it, but I've seen some videos on it. Apparently, it's a musical show, but you go in and you walk through they have all these different stages. And I guess you go into the first room, and they play a bunch of Bob Marley music, and then you kind of wind your way through another stage, and there's some more music, and you listen to that for a little bit. Then you go to this other stage, and I guess each stage maybe represents different parts of his career or something. I don't know. But if you're a Bob Marley fan, that might be something to check out. If you're in Vegas, it's at Mandalay Bay. I think it's called Freedom Road or something like that. Full disclosure, I'm not really into reggae music. The half hour that I listened to last night on YouTube, that's probably going to get me through the rest of the year as far as my reggae listening. But, to each their own. Not that, like I said, I can listen to it, and I can kind of groove to it. But after I've listened to one or two songs, I'm like, okay, I'm good. The Soulcraft's here. Hey, Soulcraft, good to see you. Soulcraft says Trump is about to talk live at the Rose Garden. This should be dun 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 dun. I don't know. Speaking of the Rose Garden and things White House related. Oh shit! No, okay. Here's. I did have this meme here. Mainly for that picture. I had another picture. But here's Newsom, a meme saying ripping apart the White House is just like ripping apart the Constitution. I don't know about that, but I do think what he's doing, what Trump is doing, is fucking awful. This is a historic building that should not be fucking touched like that. And Trump is just doing it? He's just fucking getting away with it? Of course he is, because fucking Congress won't do shit. they'll let him do anything at this point, I guess. If you can tear down walls of the White House, I guess just do fucking anything, you know. David Weiss from Denver's here. Hey, David, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Damon Dog, the big dog, is here. Hey, Damon Dog, the big dog. Says, hey, loungers, I'm at Honda dealership. They owed me window visors, rain shield thingies. They called this morning, so I'm having those attached. That's cool. By the way, that I've seen the videos of your truck, Damon. It's a fucking beautiful truck. So congratulations and enjoy that truck. I see Carrie C's here. I see Carrie C. Lynn Lynette, I mentioned already. Michael McAndrews. Hey, Michael, good to see you. Thanks for coming into the driver's lounge. Michelle is here. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. Just scrolling down here a little bit. WW's here. Hey, W, good to see you. Says only 100,000 so far. Similar to Obama and Biden, but making bigger deal out of it, more terrorizing. I guess I'm mid-thread. I guess W was already in here. I don't know what the 100,000 you're talking about. It maybe about how many is it how many people they've deported or something? I don't know. David Weiss from Denver says after No King's demonstration, the young man who attacked the New York Giants shirt dude was arrested and in jail. 12 others got arrested. 100 marchers split off and tried to go to I-25. So would they arrest him for petty theft or something? Sandy Foltz is here. Hey, Sandy, good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the old driver's lounge. Karen Ames is here. Hey, Karen Ames from the Victor Valley. Michael Ganders, I love De Niro. Bobby D. Bobby D. Bobby, the word you were searching for is sociopath, by the way. I was watching that, and De Niro's like, he's an alien. And I'm like, okay, fine. Alien probably works. But I think the word you mean is sociopath. You know, De Niro was basically describing a sociopath when he was talking about Trump. Aaron West is here. Thank you, Aaron, for being here. We are now at full mod capacity. Karen Ames, I just hit my coffee and my smoke. There you go. WW says there are 14 to 17 million improperly documented workers. They can round them all up. They can go by due process and probable cause. They can get the warrants they need, and they can go and they can do an ICE raid at these places of business where the businesses are employing them and things like that. I don't think they can just go and snatch someone because they have brown skin. That's the problem. As I've said over and over and over again, it's about due process, and you can't profile someone just because they got brown skin and think, oh, we're going to grab that guy, we're going to grab that lady. She got brown skin. She must be an illegal. You can't do that. Not supposed to be able to do that. In Nazi Germany, you could do that. Are we now in Nazi America? I think it's looking that more and more like that all the time. Let's see. Rainier Nolaweka says people could have so much power if they stick together against tyranny. Instead, they fight each other, poor against poor. But we are seeing some encouraging signs. I think more and more of us coming together. I think the No King's Day marching was an indication of that. I think they're going to have more of these marches, and I think we're going to continue to see more and more people come out. And it's going to go from 7 million to 10 million to 15 million to 20 million. It's going to keep growing. It really, really is. And so I say we keep doing it. And if we have, if there's some topics and that we need to make, like instead of No Kings, or we needed to add something to that, well, then how about release the Epstein files? How about save our healthcare? which is going to be quadrupled in some cases, the premiums, if they don't do anything to save it. And for God's sakes, do your job. And I like how Gallego calls Mike Johnson the pedo protector. So how about doing your goddamn job, Mike Johnson, pedo protector, and swear in Adelita Grijalva? I think I said that right. It's ridiculous what you're doing, and we all see through it. We all know what you're doing. Mikey Johnson, pedo protector, we all know what you're fucking doing. You're just delaying and delaying and delaying as long as you can, everything you can to keep the Epstein files from coming out. Because that's your number one job. Donald Trump has basically told you, Mike Johnson, pedo protector, you got one job, and that is to keep those goddamn Epstein files from being released. That's Mike Johnson's one and only fucking job. And everything else is just sort of a distraction from that. So let me put out the sign. This should be on, I think, at all times. Did I pass it already? Let's see. Why is it so hard to find it? It should be at the top of the list. There it is, right there. Got to put out the sign. Release the goddamn Epstein files, Mike Pedo Protector Johnson. Lynn Lynette says Rainier, they believe the billionaire propagandists, so we don't unite against them. Racism is a tool for the stupid. And it is a way of dividing us because there always has to be an other. Whatever it is, whether there's the Jews, the blacks, the Mexicans, the gays, whatever it is, they have to find the other for people to attack and keep us fighting. So I think more and more of us are seeing through it, though. That's what I'm hopeful for. Suzanne Forsepi is here. Hey, Suzanne, good to see you. Thanks for popping on into the driver's lounge. Good to see you. William is here. Hey, William, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Thanks for coming on. I see Fancy there. I just watched your video today. I saw it on Facebook. So Fancy has another video out. Guys, if you want to check it out, over at Fancy's YouTube channel, go over there, give her a subscription, and check out all the videos. And she's got another great video where I kind of pop in. My caricature of me kind of pops in there. Speaking of a Halloween theme, it's very sort of Halloweeny. It's got a Halloween. Who are you saying has a Halloweeny? All right, kind of skipping down through here. But I'm still in the chat where I don't think I've even come into the show yet. I think the intro is still playing. Jolie says CSR2 Racing 2 notification, Fowler's Wrath. Was that in? That's not in here, is it? Jolie, I have sad news. One of my admins kicked you out off the team. This happened quite a while ago. This happened when I was still at the Siegel Suites, and I was having. That's when I was having all those Wi-Fi problems and internet problems, and so I wasn't going on to the game that much. And so one of the admins took it upon himself to, because I was brooming out all the people who had 0 points, except for you. And then one time I went on there and you were gone, and I was like, uh-oh. Someone was taking over on the brooming duty, and they just broomed you out, Jolie. It wasn't me, just so you know. But it was during that time I wasn't really on the app very much or on the game very much because of being over there, and my internet was just sucked. And I would just on just enough where I would get a few points, so I wouldn't get broomed. And so sorry. Twisted Nerve Painting is here. Hey, Twisted Nerve Painting. Good to see you. Thanks for popping on in. Elizabeth Martinez is here. Buenos dias, John. Hola to all. Hey, Elizabeth. Buenos dias. Right back at you. Damon Dog says, Fancy, I love your video of Hal and Trucker John. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I don't know what app Fancy is using for those, but it's really it's a cool one. Petrazi 20 is here. Hey, Petrazi, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. To the driver's lounge. Damon Dog might be the lens. I'm kind of afraid to even mess with it at this point. Fog. Caleb Guillory says, but we can't afford to feed children. Yeah, we've got plenty of money for a goddamn $200 million ballroom that Trump says he's paying for, but I'll believe that when I see it. Caleb Guillory says $40 billion taxpayer dollars bail out Republican donors for their investments in the crashing Argentina economy, plus what they expected on returns. Yeah, $40 billion can go to Argentina, and they can just suck that down the black hole, right? But yeah, and like to your point, but we don't have money to help feed kids and poor people and stuff. Yeah. Twisted Nerve Painting says the second video on this project is done filming. Now I just need to put it together in the editor. Twisted Nerve Painting just putting out all kinds of content. So Suzanne Fourier says, Siepi says, Michael McAndrews, good morning. She says, I don't understand why people would block me. Oh, I guess we're mid-thread. I didn't know. I don't know who blocks you, and that's between you and the blockers. So, Mr. Spock's here. Hey, Mr. Spock, live long and prosper. Says it's Carrie Lake filter. There's no filter. It's just like, I don't know. Okay, look. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can wipe the lens real quick. We'll see what happens here. Sometimes that does help. Let's see. That might have helped a little bit, huh? It does look a little sharper, the image. I think that helped. So thanks for the advice there. I think that did help a lot, actually. I must have had a little something on that lens there. Probably like a fingerprint, like from my finger. Let's see. Caleb Guillory, what's a deficit? I don't know. I have no idea what that is. Let's see. I'm skipping down here in the chat. Alrighty. Jolie has posted the link probably 20 minutes ago, but nevertheless, to Twisted Nerves Painting. Go over there, give Twisted Nerve Painting a sub, and then you can check out all the great content that Twisted Nerve Painting is putting out. Michael McAndrew says, next time, don't dip the camera in olive oil, John. Damon Dog, slide to the left, slide to the right, Damon Dog coming in at like number 33. We got 51 watching, only 36 thumbs ups, guys. Maybe today we're just a bunch of Republicans today. We're going to operate on at a deficit. So Roxanne coming in to give me some knowledge here about the Marley family. Roxanne 79 says Julian Marley is son of Ziggy Marley, Bob Marley's son. So, like I said that could be his grandson at this point. So that's exactly what it is, right? So yeah, Julian Marley was playing on, I believe it was on No King's Day or New King's Day, down in Fremont Street, because I was watching the video last night, but I think it was from Saturday. Julian Marley and his band were playing down there at Fremont Street, and I could, they're good. Like I said, reggae music's not my thing, but I could tell that he was good and professional and carrying on the name, the Marley name, the Marley name, not lame, and he was good. He was good. Mr. Spot, get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. David Dog says, can't watch my music vids on YouTube. Okay. Lynn Lunette loves reggae. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. Everyone has their thing that they love. So yeah, that's cool. Moan Hey Nguyen is here. Good morning. It's a beautiful sunny morning. Thanks for being here, Moan Hai. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I apologize. Thank you so much for being here. I don't think I've seen you before, so thanks for coming in and hanging out with us for a little bit. I do appreciate you. Hopefully you hit that like, subscribe, and share button. Especially the like and subscribe one. Sandy Foles says, your post was never on today. Well, what do you mean? But it's better if you post your post up near the to the college time. You come on so no one is bumped. Well, the post did come on today. Yeah, but if you're talking about like posting the upcoming live stream, I did that this morning instead of doing it last night like I usually do. So if that's what you're talking about. Roxanne 79 says that sounds amazing, TJ. I've listened to Bob my whole life. The lyrics are very wise and the music is nice and mellow. Yeah, that's true. I agree with you. It's very wise. Bob Marley and very. It's also very political. Very very. He was an activist for peace and for fairness and equality. I guess that's why he was killed. I don't know, but or maybe it was because he fucked the wrong dude's wife. I don't know. One of those two things. But yeah. So yeah, if you're ever in Vegas, go check out that Freedom Road thing. You'll probably love it. You and Jen can go check it out. James Jaramillo is here. Hey, James, good to see you. Going to do some ELO there for us. Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us why you had to hide away for so long. Mr. Blue Sky. Yeah, I got the wrong tune in my head, so. Twisted Nerves Painting says, one of the jewelers I apprenticed under was a big reggae fan. I heard enough over the years. I learned to really dig it. Can you dig it? I'm just sort of skipping down. Jolie says, how is he even allowed to fuck up the White House? Doesn't it have some sort of historical protection? Insanity. Exactly. That should be definitely under a historical protection. But it just shows how much he can get away with. And how no one, can do anything to stop him, apparently. It's pretty sickening. I think it's pretty sickening. Falcor's here. Slava Ukraini. Falcor, good to see you. Let me skip down here in the chat a little bit. Sandy Full, CJ, how's the bug issue? Again, I don't want to knock on wood. I don't want to jinx it. Well, I haven't seen any like cockroaches since I think Saturday. Was it Saturday? And today is Tuesday, so I haven't seen but I have been seeing these little tiny black bugs. Some people say those are baby cockroaches. I don't know. I've seen a few of those kind of run around, like really tiny, super tiny, and that's kind of gross too to think that. And they're usually like on the counter, the kitchen counter, and I have Clorox wipes. I'm constantly wiping down the counter. I saw some in the bathroom. I saw them in the medicine cabinet. I've kept the medicine cabinet because I cleared everything out when they were spraying because they said take everything out of the cabinets. So I took everything out, and I haven't put anything back in there. I've just left it empty because I know they're coming back to spray again, either tomorrow or a week from tomorrow. I'm not sure which. And there was like 3 or 4 of these little tiny little black bugs. I have no idea what they are. They're not ants. I don't know what the fuck they are, but I saw 3 or 4 of those in the medicine cabinet last night. So that's gross. So I'm going to let them do their spray again. They're going to do it again, like it's either tomorrow or a week from tomorrow. And then I did buy, like I mentioned yesterday, I bought a pack of the Combat, the little black round Combat, those traps. And so after they spray, then I'm going to put those out. And we'll see how that does. Northern Flicker's here. Hey, Northern Flicker, good to see you. Says we're getting close. I'm not sure what that's in reference to. I don't know what we're getting close to, but Oh, about being Nazis, maybe because Roxanne is a Nazi, and I said, "What are we, Nazi America?" Diamond Dog says it could be worse. Jolie, you could have been called Damien the Devil Child. That's right, Damon Dog. Yeah, from The Omen, right? Or you could have been named John. When people say they got to go take a piss or or take a shit, it's like I got to go to the John. But actually, I love my name. When I grew up, John was probably the most. I grew up in the '60s, right? I was born in 1960, so all through elementary school was the '60s. John was probably the most popular name in the country at the time, one of them at least. John Kennedy, who was assassinated when I was 3, but John Kennedy, like I've said before, the ghost of John Kennedy permeated the '60s and even the early '70s. I mean. And even though he was 3 when he was assassinated, I felt like I knew President Kennedy, like I knew who he was, and I thought he was a really cool president, a really cool guy from the clips and things that I'd seen of him, and so I was like, my name's John, just like John Kennedy, and John Kennedy was a great man, So I always liked my name, and then the fact that I'm the 3rd, so my dad is John, my grandpa is John. I named my son John, so I do like the name. But still, it is a thing when people talk about their names and they're upset because of whatever reason. Then I kind of remind people, yeah, you could have a name that is associated with a fucking toilet. And did you know that the first indoor toilet, the first indoor flushable toilet, I believe, was invented by John Crapper, and I shit you not. I shit you not. So that's why it's called Go to the John, because stamped on those porcelain toilets was John Crapper. So it's either you were going to go to the John or you were going to take a crap. That's where that shit came from. Pun kind of intended there, but I don't know. Sunny Fold says there's a rumor going around of people's food stamps being stopped. I've heard that too. I guess that's because of the government shutdown. Roxanne 79, Grinder, Judas Johnson. 007 Kevin is here. Hey, Kevin. Good to see you. Says, hey, TJ, did you see your new song with Hal? I did. I just saw, real quick this morning, I saw that Fancy had posted it on Facebook, and I watched it, and I thought it was pretty cool. Northern Flicker says, Grander Mike is acting like he has job security. He doesn't. Damon Dog says, I love the sign that read, Mike Johnson blocked me on Grindr. That's pretty funny. Karen Ames says, Sandy, it isn't a rumor. We got our notification that ours won't be getting funded until government opens. And of course, they want to blame the Democrats. Mike Johnson, you can open the House. You can reopen the House at any time. You do not need the Democrats' permission to do so. You can open back up any fucking minute. You can do it right this second, Mike Johnson. You could open the government up back right this fucking instant. Or at least open the House. And you can open negotiations, because the main sticking point is ACA health premiums. That really is the main sticking issue, I think, with as far as voting on, I don't know, continuing resolution or whatever it is they want to do. But Mike Johnson, nothing is stopping you. You're the fucking Speaker of the House, motherfucker. You could reopen the House right now. And you can start working on getting that done. Because you know that the American people are going to get hurt. 24 million Americans are going to lose their health insurance if these cuts go through, which will raise health premiums 2, 3, and 4 times what they are now. Meaning that people cannot afford to pay that. They can barely afford what they're paying now, to be honest with you. You know, what they're paying now is for a lot of people is pretty hard. Or you know, it's not a little thing. So to double them, it's like that's almost unthinkable. And then to think that they're saying it could be tripled, it could be quadrupled in some cases, that will absolutely end people's ability to pay for their health insurance premiums. And they will be kicked off their plans, and they will have no insurance for 24 million people. That is what you're willing, Mike Johnson, Mike Pedo Protector Johnson. That's what you're willing to do to 24 million people just to protect the pedo in the White House, the rapist in the White House. Wanheim Gwyn says, I know it's pronounced like Gwyn. It's like Win or something. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyhow, I'm scared, but we are stand up to Tyrant Trump. We joined the No Kings demonstration on Saturday, and it was great, beautiful. You could feel the love in the air. Hyde continues on down there. You could feel the love in the air, and I went to mine, but I was late, so it was pretty much over with. But even from seeing all the videos that I watched, it sure as hell didn't look like some terrorist Antifa groups, burning down cities. It was the exact opposite. It felt very joyful. Remember the word joy we kept hearing about during the Kamala Harris campaign? Well, that's what this felt like. Joy and camaraderie and people just playing music and dancing and just promoting freedom. It was a great thing, and I think we need to keep doing it. I think we should just do it every weekend or something, every Saturday, until we get, I don't know, Trump out of office. Until Trump's out of office, just keep doing it. And some of the topics would be release the Epstein files, swear in Representative Grijalva, work on the healthcare deal to keep those premiums low. But those are the topics. And impeach Trump, I think, should be a topic. And ensure free and fair elections, voter integrity, and election integrity. Those should be the topics, I think, or at least some of them. That as we continue to march and peacefully protest, those should be the topics. Northern Flicker says, so Felon 47 is forcing troops on us Portlanders to quell non-existent war. Wonder how that will go down. Not good. At some point. This might escalate. The very opening clip, though, the reason I put that in, I thought it was interesting how the Portland police, they weren't really having it. They were like, we don't know what that person, we don't know what they're running for or from, because it was like they were expected to apprehend them or something. They're like, I don't know. David Dog says, I'd love to see Portland Rockside. I never realized how beautiful it is until Trump started to trash them. I know. I've been taking. I've been watching all these videos too, and I've been to Portland, and I've been through there, and I always liked it. I always thought it was a beautiful city. But now I even want to go more. I even want to go there even more now. Michelle says Trump is renting the White House. Jolie says the CSR2. See, the thing is disappearing now. I don't know what's going on. Maybe we're getting a lot of people in here, and the chat is jumping up, and then it just disappears. So I don't know. I don't know what the CSR2 notification is about. Charlie Twain says, every day I wake up, this country is getting worse. It makes me so sad. No one will put that orange turd in his place. Go to a rally, Petrazi, if you can. Go. There's going to be more. There's going to be more of these No Kings Day. They might not call it No Kings. They might change names or whatever, but there's going to be more. So go to those. I think that will help uplift you, and that will help give you some hope. That'll give you some hope. Thanks. We got 55 watching. Still at a slight deficit. We're still a slight Republican-y. Let's work on that deficit. Boy, the chat is moving all of a sudden and disappearing. But yeah, Petrazi 20, if you can, go to rallies, go to the peacefully protest, get in there with those like-minded folks, and I think it will lift your spirits and give us a sign of hope. Because the more and more people we see out there, the more and more we know that there are people that think like we do. That we're sick and tired of this motherfucker that's in the White House right now, And we want to let him know. We want to let that motherfucker in the White House know that we don't like you. Just in case you're under the false impression that maybe we like you. No, we don't like you, motherfucker. And we would love nothing more than to see you fucking behind bars, you fucking piece of shit. That's the message we need to send to fucking Trump. Because I think he is under the false impression that somehow he is liked and loved and adored. And he is, maybe he is by a certain small select group of maggots, but that's about it. Roxanne79 says, if you talk to the president of Puerto Rico and the Virgin Island and, see, it disappeared. It disappeared, guys. Guess I'm going to just have to hold it down when I'm reading. MJ Daniel says, trailer track. No, see, that didn't even work either. Thanks, guys, for being in here. I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you coming on in. I'll just have to read down further down so that it doesn't just, instead of at the top, I'll read down here at the bottom. Northern Flicker says, I'm with the frog. The Frog Rebellion. The March of the Frogs. We're taking the frogs back. Remember when it was, Hey Pepe, and that was all that fucking graper shit? Well, we're taking the frogs back, motherfuckers. Susie Jones is here. Says, I feel awful. Been sleeping restlessly. My pain is a 10. Sorry to hear that, Susie. I know you've been dealing with some really bad pain. And I hope you can get that dealt with as soon as possible. Rainer Noliweka says 6 of the 9 justices of the Supreme Court have abandoned defending the Constitution of the USA and impeached them. I would love nothing more. Again, we can't wave a magic wand and impeach them. There's a process, and it takes numbers. So how about stop voting for Republicans? That would help. That would help a great deal. You know, with all these impeachments we want to do, we're not going to do it if the Republicans are in charge. Karen Ames says, I hit the like on both my phone and iPad. Does that count, TJ? Well, thank you, Karen. I do appreciate you. As long as it's not showing the thumbs up was already hit. Because sometimes, like, if you are watching on your phone and then you go to your iPad, let's say you already hit thumbs up on your phone and then you go on your iPad, it might show the thumb as being darkened out. That means you already hit it. So if you hit it a second time, that would be like erasing it. You know what I mean? Susie Jones, I can't stop bawling. The destruction of our White House is a nightmare. I know. It just makes you want to cry, man. And it is really, it's a great illustration of what he's doing to the country. As Newsom says, is like ripping apart the Constitution. He's ripping apart this fucking country. You know? And what he's doing to the White House is just a great illustration of that. Roxanne Tracy's here. Hey, Roxanne Tracy, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. I'm not sure if I've seen you before, so thanks for being here. P Dubs is here. Hey, P Dubs, good to see you. Working and lurking, that's fine. Thank you, P Dubs. Michael McAndrews, I'm wondering when Trumpy bombs my house. That's pretty sad that we live under that threat, right? We're living under that threat. We don't know what this mad king is going to do. Roxanne Tracy, I clicked the like button and I am not acting like a Republican today. Laughing out loud. Thank you so much. We're at 53 watching, 55 thumbs up. So now we are a bit more like better Democrats. We are at a slight surplus. So thank you so much for those thumbs ups. I appreciate it. You guys are awesome. 007 Kevin Slayer says, Trucker John, I saw it. And before I changed my handle name, I put, I dig it. I'm not sure what that was about, actually. Lynette, I love lots of genres of music. I do too. Yeah, Jolie says, if it was on the same account, Karen Ames, you liked it, then unliked it. Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. And Jolie Said it very succinctly. P-Dub's not a Republican. Okay, let's not act like it. Let's not do it. Don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't know if that was Trump or Bush. The first Bush. Don't want to do it. That wouldn't be prudent. Wouldn't be prudent. There. That's more like HW. Not gonna do it. Wouldn't be prudent. Whoops, I just hit the table. Michael McAndrews. I don't like pumpernickel. Joey's got the link to P-Dub's YouTube channel. Go ahead and go over there and give P-Dubs a subscription if you would. Subscribe. Great channel. Great person over there. Go check out P-Dubs. Victor Harshman's here. Hey, Victor says Redemption Song is great. I'm sure Marley has some great songs. Aaron West says, I'm going to go to the dentist. This tooth is killing me. Sorry to bail. Hey, don't feel bad about bailing, especially if you got a tooth issue. Go handle that. Get that. There's almost nothing worse than freaking, tooth pain and stuff like that. Things of this nature. WW, I am registered Republican at the moment. Not sure yet what I will do the next spring. Good old waffly WW there. Mr. Waffle, as I like to call him. Roxanne79 says Bob was married and in love with Rita Marley. It's because he was a prophet. That's why they shot him, because he was a prophet. Just scrolling down here, trying to keep the thing from disappearing. The chats have a tendency to just disappear if I don't try to slow it down with my finger. All right, I am scrolling. WW says I studied and taught singing. My motto is, if you enjoy it, do it. All right. That sounds pretty progressive of you. Yeah, Victor Harsman says there's no teeth in the checks and balances in the legislative branch. Northern Flicker says if nobody stops him, we're all screwed. And Michael McAndrews comes on in with Trump is still raping our country. He's rapey. He's very rapey, that Trump guy. He's a bit rapey. We don't need to announce somebody else's show. You don't need to do that. Hey, witchy woman. Hey, witchy woman. Thanks for being here. The goddess Kimchi, of course. Always good to see you in the driver's lounge. City folks, if you have any veggies like potatoes, onions, I don't have anything sitting out. Nothing is sitting out. I don't even have those to sit out. I don't buy those things. But anyhow, yeah, there's none of that. There's no potatoes or onions or veggies sitting out. And if I did have them, I would keep them in the refrigerator. Let's see here. Skip it on down. Petrazi I always want to say Petrazi 120. I don't know. Petrazi 20 says my father and brother are both named John. So there you go. There you go. Michael McAndrews, I've always referred to my little brother John as Jack. That's my dad was Jack. My grandpa was Jack. And then my dad, they called Jack. I never got the Jack thing, I guess because, me and my dad, we were around each other all the time. So I was Johnny. In fact, my whole mom's side of my family, they still refer to me as Johnny. And for most of my like elementary school life, I was Johnny. And then at some point, I think around 6th or 7th grade, I was like, I am no longer Johnny. I am John. I guess I felt like I was like a little kid that was a little like, and so I was growing up and I was like, okay, from now on, I am John. I'm not Johnny. I remember making this announcement to my family. My mom's side of the family, they didn't adhere to that. Probably because there was some distance. My dad's side of the family, we all lived pretty close together, and so we saw each other more. My mom's side of the family, they lived up in Fresno, which was a few hours away, and so we saw them. We probably at least once or twice a year we'd go up there and visit. So, but it was a little bit different, So they just always knew me as Johnny, and they still call me Johnny to this day, which is fine. Now I like Johnny, but at the time when I was like 12 or whatever, I was like, okay, I'm John. I'm not Johnny. I'm not a little kid anymore. All right, that was the thing. That was my thinking, like that Johnny was like a little kid's name or something. And then my son is John, and we call my son Johnny. I still call my son Johnny, and he pretty much goes by Johnny, I think, in most cases. He likes Johnny, and everyone, and he's a Johnny. I mean, he's totally a Johnny. Like it fits. So it's like we had Jack, Johnny, and then John, and now I got Johnny. Although my son, I do remember he did go through a slight little phase where he wanted to be known as John, but then he switched back to Johnny because I think he just missed being called Johnny, or he liked it too, So. Robert Perez from down San Diego way is here. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Thanks for coming on in. Robert says, "Is there a Trucker John in the house?" Yeah, somewhere. Where's that Trucker John at? Jonathan Earl says, apparently I was almost a Jeff, but then they went with Jonathan, strangely, because my uncle's name is John. And so my dad wanted to meet me after him, maybe name me after him, even though they made me Jonathan. Is that a John? Well, I've always had kind of issue with that it's not the same because of the spelling. Jon, when you shorten Jonathan to John, Jon, it's not the same as John. So I've always had an issue kind of with that. When people try to say that it's the same, and it's not. It's not the same name. It's a different name. It may be pronounced very similar, but it's not the same. At least that's my opinion. But it's like a cousin. The names are like cousins, I think. WW says November 1st, it could happen. The WIC food stamps are delayed or reduced. Yeah, this is all because of the government shutdown. And the Republicans don't give a fuck. As long as they can protect the pedo in the White House, they don't give a fuck. Michael Andrew says, I named my son after an old school friend, Jeff. I named my daughter, Michelle, who is now John. Oh, wow. A good choice of name changing there, if I do say so myself. Jonathan Earl says, I love when they blame the Democrats. It's like they have no power. You pedophilic yahoos. hold all the majorities in every fucking branch. That's right. And yet there they are, playing the victim, blaming the Democrats. These Republicans, I tell you. 007 Kevin Troll Slayer says that Trucker John, wonder what John Crapper's middle name was? Shitson? Maybe that's why they say, "Ah, shit, son." Nothing out loud. John Shitson Crapper. John Shitson Crapper. Yeah, Shitson. John Shitson Crapper. That's funny. That's a funny one. If I could just say it right. If I hadn't butchered the delivery there, it would have been funny. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. I see Robert in there again. Twisting Her Panty says, Trucker John, that's their plan, John. They want us to not be able to pay and then be without. How many untreated Americans will die because of that? Oh, it's going to be, lots of people are going to die. I know that's kind of a rhetorical question because we know that, in fact, I think it was Bernie Sanders or somebody already has the figures of how many people are going to die every year. It was some tens of thousands of people, I think. Once they start losing this health care, they're going to start dying. And it was like, I want to say 50,000 people a year, but that seems high to me. Maybe it was 5,000 people. That seems too low. So I don't know. Someone in the chat can find that out and can correct me. But Bernie Sanders, I'm pretty sure it was Bernie. He has come out and said, okay, if these health premiums get jacked up to 3 and 4 times what they are now, people are going to fall off. They're not going to be able to afford. They're going to lose their health insurance. And then he said, X amount of people are going to die every year because of this. I'm thinking he said 50,000. But I'm also thinking that seems like, I'm thinking that it was too high. But if it was 5,000, I think that's too low. So I don't know. Someone correct me. I know there are smarter people, way, 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 super, super smarter than me that you guys know what the figure was. You know the answer. Marsha coming in here with a 99-cent super stickers. Marsha, yippee. Thank you so much, Marsha, for that. I do appreciate you. I appreciate you being here and hanging out with us. So thanks for being here. Good to see you. Michael McAndrew says, what if we all got together and had a party? We'd never leave. We'd never want to. Let's have a party. Oh, man. Scratchy voice. Wow. Witchy woman. You're a witchy woman. Mad Mac is here. Slava Ukraini. Absolutely, Mad Mac. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for coming on in and hanging out. Jolie says, it felt like a relief to me being in Indiana. It's not often I'm surrounded with like-minded people. Great day. Talking about the No Kings march. That's what Jolie was talking about. So I hope we do more. I'm sure we're going to do more, but I think we should do them, if not once a week, at least once a month. WW says, here's old Mr. fucking Eeyore, right? This is WW. Ours was mostly old people sitting and standing around visiting. That's W. You can just imagine. Ours was just old people sitting and standing around. Oh yeah, I'm so, whatever, W. Of course. So what? That was better than what they said. What Mike Johnson and Republicans were claiming it was going to be, fucking total mayhem and destruction and death. Linda Lynette says, let's start a GoFundMe to help with his funeral. I don't know what that's about. Witchy Woman coming in with a $2 super sticker. Thank you, Witchy Woman. Yippee, going out to you. And I also will give you that thumbs up and a heart. Thank you, Witchy Women. I appreciate you. I do appreciate that. That does help the show, helps keep us going and growing. Staying on, doing our thing. So thank you, Witchy Woman. Yippee! The Damon Dog says, WW, that's because old people remember what America was before the Reagan Revolution. Unfortunately, though, most of those old people are probably voted for fucking Reagan. Maybe they finally learned their lesson. They're like, you know what? I think we fucked up 45 years ago. Some people are a little slow to realize things, I guess. A little slow on the uptake. Michael McAndrews, $10 super chat. Yippee, Michael. Thank you so much. Says 10 chocolate covered dandelions. There you go. Thank you. Another yippee going out to you. I do appreciate you. Helping with the show. Helping to keep us going. Help support the show. Michael McAndrews says it was a mistake. And Susie Jones, thanks. Oh, I mid-thread. Totally mid-thread. I don't know what that was about. I don't know what the mistake was about. Victor Harshman says, we live close to Portland, love living here. I think, like I said, I've driven through Portland, as a truck driver on I-5. And I've gone into a few places for deliveries, a few industrial places. So I haven't been able to really go in and just go in as a tourist or, on foot and see some of the areas. And I would like to go there and explore Portland a little. It looks, and I know they have a huge homeless population that I can see from the freeway, so I know it's not perfect. I know they have issues to work out with getting housing for people, but that's indicative of anywhere you go, even in fucking Utah, even in Salt Lake City, Utah, they have homeless issues and they need to solve their housing crisis and get housing for people. So it's everywhere. It's not just Portland. It's in places like, red places like Salt Lake City too. Probably especially in red places, even worse. Karen Ames and other in November. Yeah, there's some stuff lined up. There's going to be some more stuff as soon as, I'll start promoting it more and more as we get closer to that. But yeah, let's gear up. Let's get ready for the next one. David Dog says, I ate 2 pizza empanadas from a food truck in the Honda parking lot, laughing out loud. Oh, that's right. Damon Dog's over at the Honda place getting those visor thingies installed. Michael McAndrews, member for 19 months. Thank you. Happy Truckerversary. And a yippee to Michael. Yippee. And happy Truckerversary, Michael. Thank you so much for being a member. I appreciate it so much. We have memberships, folks. I think we've got 75 or so or 80 members. Thank you all so much. The bottom, the cheapest one there is $1.99 a month. So we have memberships starting at $1.99 a month, and that's another great way of supporting the show. And Michael McAndrews, he does the super stickers, and he's a member. So double yippee, yippee, yippee. Thank you. And Michael says 19 months. Holy shit. Oh, and Fancy is the greatest. Fancy is the greatest. She's great. She's awesome. But happy Truckerversary, Michael. It's been great having you along for the ride here at the old Trucker John experience. The Trucker John experience. Robert Per says rallies are one thing. Do not forget to vote is the most important priority, number one. Yeah, we have to keep that going. Yeah, vote. Check your registration, vote.org. I'll always keep up on that. Make sure that you can vote. Don't let, especially if you're in a red state or a red area, don't let these Republicans cheat you out of your vote. Make sure you're registered and you can vote. Anna Moore says, chat is moving fast. Tell again, TJ. Hello again, I think. Hello again to you, Anna Moore. I think that's what it meant. Hello again. I'm a little slow in the uptake sometimes, Anna Moore, as we've discovered through the years here. WW says there are enough frogs to go around, and you can be sure that the frog factory is making more. Jolie coming in, a member for 20 months. Driver Jolie says best chat on YouTube on the YouTube. Love you all. Well, happy Truckerversary, Jolie. Yippee! Thank you so much, Jolie. A member for 20 months, been around since the beginning, even before we had memberships. Because that took a while, and Jolie's been here almost basically from day one that I started doing this Trucker John Livestream out on the road. That's when I was on the road out in, I can almost remember, it was in Oregon. I believe I was, let's see, let me think. I believe I was in Oregon, out near Sunnyside, Oregon. For you Oregonians, you know where I'm talking about. Out there, kind of eastern Oregon. Or is that Washington? Sunnyside, Washington. I'm pretty sure it was Oregon where I was at. Yeah, out there. Anyhow, and I remember being parked in a dirt lot. I think actually I had stayed at a Best Western that night, Best Western Plus, and I had the truck parked in the dirt lot. And I think I was doing a show, or actually maybe it was a few days there. It was at one of the other dirt lots that I was parked at. And I remember Jolie coming in, and I think Wes Webb was there, some guy named Wes Webb, and a couple others, just a couple of this early people. So Wes Webb, and I give Wes and W a bunch of shit, but Wes has been here since the beginning. Jolie's been here since the beginning. Really, you talk about OG. Jolie is the OG, and really has given me advice and has helped me and has. I made her a mod really early on. She helped me because I was getting kind of beat up one day or ganged up on by a bunch of what I think were college kids or something, actually. And they found the channel. They were doing some. I think actually, as it turned out, at the time I didn't know this, but because I ended up talking to one of them, and he told me, "Yeah, we're just in this class. It's like some sort of computer class or a thing dealing with the internet." And their assignment was to go on the internet, find a live stream, and go into the chat and just, I don't know if the assignment was to fuck with the guy or whatever, but they were kind of fucking with me. And I was kind of fending them off as best I could. And that's when Jolie said, you need some help. And Jolie's been there helping me ever since. So I appreciate you so much, Jolie. I do appreciate you. So thanks for happy Truckerversary, and thanks for all your help and backup. Jolie's got my back. Jolie's got my six. So thank you. I want to thank you. Witchy Woman says the destruction is up there with the Buddha statues. If we destroyed a National Register house, we'd be in jail. Yeah, Donald Trump apparently is above the law. I guess that's what that's about. Victor Harshman says the Trump arch thing is a tell. Arches are commonly erected to celebrate military victories. We're going to war. Either that or Trump just doesn't know that, and he just thinks, oh, these arches, I want one. So. Because Trump is an idiot. You guys think I'm an idiot? Trump's even more of an idiot than I am. All right, I'm skipping down. Jonathan Earl, awful waffle. Karen Ames, I think our neighbor's cat just has adopted us. That happens. That'll happen. Josh is here. Hey, Josh, good to see you. Josh's ass is dragging today. What, were you out partying last night? You party animal? Karen Ames says they made it an outside cat due to their kids' allergies. It now eats here and sleeps in my garage now that it's colder. First it's the garage, then it's the laundry room, and then it'll be in your bedroom snuggling with you. Hey, Catherine, Real Health Talks here. It says, hi, everyone. Hi, TJ. Does anybody remember the name of the march that had about 12 million people earlier this year? Ooh, no, I don't. Someone will, though. Someone in the chat will have that. Karen James says, I just had to start buying generic coffee, but it's good. So that's good. And if it's a little bit cheaper and it's still good, then why not? You know? Witchy Woman Kimchi says, Johnny, can we call you Trey since you are the third? I would prefer not. I would prefer that you not call me Trey. Since you asked. Witchy Woman Kimchi says, only my family and best friend could call me Kimmy. You have been warned. Victor Harshman says, I hated my name when I was a kid. I was always the only Victor in the school. Well, did they call you Vic or something? Or is that okay? For short? Petrozzi says, I did the same thing. Karen Ames, I get my coffee at Ollie's, and it's good coffee. And the coffee was good. That's the main thing. Michael Andrews with an $11 super chat. Thank you, Michael McAndrews. Yippee! Getting a big old another yippee. Says half cup of coffee. Thank you so much. There's the thumbs up and the heart. Thank you, Michael McAndrews. Coming on in. We're 3/5 of the way to our goal, by the way, for today. And we are operating like good Democrats now, guys. 56 watching, 63 thumbs up. So we are at a pretty good surplus. That's the kind of thing Democrats do. Witchy Woman Kimchi says Joanne is Juan. No, John is not John. Jon is not John. 007 Troll Slayer says, one day I'm going to give Kimchi a voodoo doll with one L and go Washington, D.C. Is that way? Laughing out loud. Okay. All right, Ian. Roxanne 1979 says, I'm named after my mother's middle name. Interesting. Barbara Nicholas says, Trucker, my landscaper's son is same as him, always referred to him as my son, so I call him my son. That's pretty funny. Victor Harshman says 50,000, so I guess that was right. Bernie Sanders says, and I have no reason to think that Bernie's lying or not, or whatever, that when these premiums shoot up to 3 and 4 times what they are now, people are going to lose their insurance, and then we're going to see 50,000 people die every single year because of that. This is on your hands. The blood is on your hands, Mike Johnson and Donald Trump and all you Republicans. The blood is on your fucking hands, motherfuckers. Mr. Spock's here. Karen Ames says people who drink coffee live longer. Drink up, buttercups. Michael McAndrews says there is a girl in Texas whose last name is Pig. The stupid parents named her Ida. Ida Pig. They probably should have changed their last names. That's what I would have done. 007 Kevin Slayer says, Aaron West, I like when John reads my jokes on the chat, even if I butcher the delivery, I guess, which I do a lot. Okay, I'm skipping on down. Witchy Woman says, my third blood type is dark roast. Rosanna, dark roast. I think the one I have is a medium roast that I've been using. WW, you are free to go. You are free to go, my friend. Michael McGedger says, I heard Bob Marley was shot in a robbery at his house. Oh, is that what it was? I know he was shot, and I remember, I think, being at his house in a robbery, or was it made to look like a robbery? I think there was some sort of conspiracy around it. Victor Harshman says, the No King's March was great, felt like a weight was lifted off my back. See, this is what we need, because I think we are feeling the stress daily. We see the White House being destroyed. We see our Constitution being destroyed. We see our rights being taken away. We see the tyranny. We see the Nazism daily, every day, and it just weighs down on us. And I think these marches it does lift that weight up. We do come together. We see the common bond, and we see that there are people who are like-minded, like Jolie was saying. So these marches are, I think, if for nothing, if for no other reason, it's vital to our fucking mental health. I'm hearing like an engine, but there's not a driveway there. There's like bushes and shit. So I don't know where that's coming from. Anyhow, James Hadamio says, Karen Ames, I'm like that with Mountain Dew, even if it has the most caffeine. I drink Pepsi or something else. I'm awake all night. Yeah, I just have the occasional Mountain Dew. Very, very occasional. Roxanne says you can't OD on marijuana. I don't know. I think you can smoke too much in one sitting, and I know the saying is that there are no recorded. People will say that there's no recorded deaths of anyone dying from marijuana or whatever, and that may or may not be true. But I don't know. I would be careful with that kind of statement. Karen Ames says, funny story and true story is my grandma's side is Hogg, and they did have a daughter named Ida. Wow. So it's a common thing. And people are like, well, we have this last name. We might as well be humorous about it, I guess. WW is slow. I don't know. This might be mid-thread. I don't know why the starts off with slow, but it says 25,000 people worldwide die every day of starvation. And that's another thing that we can be not so proud of. Thanks to Elon Musk and Doge and Donald Trump, of course, and Stephen Miller, doing away with USAID. And now that helped a lot of people around the world who were facing starvation. It was helping people get food and nutrition. And now that's been taken away. And I don't know how many thousands and tens of thousands of people that's adding to the death toll. So you can put that in your pipe and smoke at WW. Kristen Weibel says, hello, everyone. Just wanted to say that Dinky told the people at the Treasury Department to not take and share pictures of the demolition of the White House. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do, we are going to just put that front and center, although that should be on top. There it is. Right behind Gavin Newsom's face there. There's the White House being torn apart. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck that motherfucker. DPD 5844 says, did anyone see that the rat bastard Rubio betrayed U.S. informants in a deal with El Salvador? The informants were high-ranking members of the MS-13 gang who were cooperating with the Justice Department. I had not heard that. Hadn't heard that. And nothing will shut down, I guess, an investigation faster than losing the trust of informants. I mean, there has to be a two-way trust there, right? Mud says, hi, Trucker John. Hello, Mud. Mud is here. And Christina and Son Ghost Squad's here. Hello, Christina. Good to see you. Thanks for popping on into the old driver's lounge. Sounds like they got some work going on outside with some sort of, I don't know. I'm tempted to look out the window and see what's going on. There's some sort of a vehicle out there. Christina Weibel says, John, I'm glad you have that picture of what he's doing to the East Wing. Yeah. And you notice how he waited till after the No Kings Day to do it. If he had started this before, there might have been 20 million people out in the streets. Jolie says Bob Marley died in 1981. God, it's hard to believe it's been that long ago. 1981, really? Wow. Really? It's been that long ago? Wait a minute. Bob Marley died in 1981 from an aggressive form of skin cancer called acri lentiginous melanoma. ALM. The cancer started in 1907 as a lesion under his big toenail, which doctors initially mistook for a soccer injury. Marley declined amputation, and the cancer eventually metastasized, spreading to his brain, liver, and lungs, leading to his death at age 36. I thought he was shot. Who got shot? Someone got shot. Maybe it was a different reggae guy. And I didn't think it was way back in 1981. I thought it was like in the 2000s or something. What am I thinking? Who am I messing up? Mad Max, Sunnyside, Washington. Yeah, okay, so I guess it was Washington. Thank you, Mad Mac. I think it must have been Washington where that whole thing first started when like Jolie came on board and was listening to the show and all that stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was in Washington then. Yeah. Jolie says, super OG. Many times it was just John and I chatting. Yeah, it was. It was. Michael McAndrews says, I would say Jolie is the best, but I might get in trouble. Jolie is the best. No doubt about it. Mr. Spock says, all the info about Bob Marley points to the CIA explanation. There is info from that time that backs it up. I don't know, man. Who am I thinking that got shot? And it was like, I'm thinking like late 90s or early 2000s or something. And I thought it was Bob Marley. I don't know what goes on inside this head of mine. I don't know. I got to look out the window. I got to see what's going on outside. Something's going on out there. There's a big truck. You know, it's one of those trucks, kind of like a. I don't know if it's from utility, but it has the bucket, the big bucket that goes up, and they're just going real slow along the side of the building, and they're doing something. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. Anyhow, back to the chat. Let's see what's going on. We've got Yakov Ishrazel is here. Says the Peace Arch in Blaine, Washington is not because of war. Christina and Sun Ghost Squad says, I get my coffee on Amazon. Big bag for $10. It's a lovely coffee. That's a good, thanks for that. That's good to know. Everyone's talking about the coffee prices going up. So, yeah, go check out Amazon. I know a lot of us are like boycotting Amazon, but I mean, you know, sometimes you got to pick your battles, you know what I mean? DPD5844 says what Trump is doing is making changes to his house. I have said this before. He does not have any intention of leaving. This also includes his predecessor. I don't understand why people refuse to see it. Yeah, he's decorated. You see, he loves all that gold shit. All that motherfucking gold shit crap that he puts all over the walls. You know, yeah, he's making it very homey for him. Because what did he say on his first term? The first thing he said is the White House is he called it I don't know, shithole or something. He's like, it's a dump. I think he called it a dump, and he didn't like it. So now he's making it all nice and homey and cozy. Now, whether or not that proves that he's not leaving or has no intentions of leaving, hey, look, he's only 10 months in. It's not like he's doing this in his last year. He's only 10 months in. So I could see if someone said, okay, I'm going to be here for 4 years. So I'm going to decorate it the way I want to decorate it. Now, I don't know about the ballroom, but as far as all that gold shit, I mean, I could see him saying, okay, I want this. I got 4 years to live in this dump. I'm going to decorate it the way I want it. But whether or not, so, it doesn't really prove anything. And what does he think that he's going to live for fucking ever? He's already fucking dying and talking about like if he's going to go to heaven or not. Does he think he's going to, what? Junior's going to just take over? Hey, we just completed the goal. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yippee to Petrazi, $25. Thank you so much. Yippee to Petrazi, $25 super chat. We made the goal. 8647 FDJT, and then I guess orange shit. So there you go. Thumbs up and a heart. Thank you so much. It says, be the first one to reply to this super chat. Your message will reply here. Oh, wow. I never saw that before. So I'm going to be the first one, I think. Thank you so much. Yippee is what we say around here. So there you go. Thank you so much, Petrazi. We made the goal. I appreciate you guys helping out the show, helping to keep us going and growing and all that good stuff. Now let me go back into the chat. Trying to see where I left off. Where did I leave off? I was pretty far down, pretty far away here. So there's Anna Moore. Thank you so much. Did I say, yeah, I did give you a yippee, right? Well, I'll give you another one just in case. Yippee, Anna Moore. Thank you so much. Says, hi, TJ and Loungers. Enjoy your day. Let's go. Let's go. I like the nightlife, baby. Let's go. Okay, I think this is about where I was at. Way up here. Mrs. Spock, I hate using Amazon, but it's a convenient. It's so convenient. I don't hate using Amazon, actually. But what are you going to do? I think I'd rather use Amazon than shop at Walmart. I think, Jeff, if in our sort of a list of like despicable billionaires, I think the Walton family is worse than fucking Bezos, and I think I would put the Walton family and Elon Musk, uh, the Koch brothers. I would put them all above Bezos. If that means anything, if that, you know, I don't know. Christina says the only Amazon's the only place I could afford groceries. Otherwise, I'd starve to death, Mr. Bob. I'm gonna start shopping for groceries on Amazon. Fuck yeah, because I was listening to, I saw the clip of the debate, the New York City mayor debate, and they asked Cuomo and Sliwa and Mondani how much they spend a week on groceries, and they all came in at around 125, 130 a week. And I'm like, that's what I fucking spend about. And I'm like, and it's just me. I'm like, what the fuck? And they live in New York City. Why am I spending as much as they spend? I don't know. Anyhow, I'm not sure what that has to do with the price of tea in China. But I feel like for my $120 a week that I spend on food, I don't feel like I'm getting very much. Maybe if I spend 120 on Amazon, I'd like to see how much more I get for that money, I guess is my point. If I even had a point. I don't know. Mad Max says Bob Marley died due to skin cancer that started under his toenail. He was shot at a different time, but did not die from the shooting. So he died in 81. So if he was shot, he was shot like probably in the 70s. Oh my God, what is this? I feel like I'm in some sort of time loop. I could have sworn all this happened like in the late 90s or early 2000s. I feel like there's a definite glitch in the Matrix right now. Christina and Son Ghost Squad says, I think online that there's more bots and trolls, and it gives the illusion that a lot of people are for Trump. But going to the rally Saturday, I think it's not true. Yeah, absolutely. There is bots and bot farms and trolls and troll farms that they institute and they use. That's how they get their huge numbers of the likes and subscribes and all that shit. So yeah, it does create this illusion that they're so popular. But I think you're absolutely right, Christina. And then we go to the rallies and we see the real numbers. We see the real people. These aren't bots. A bot can't go to a rally. As far as I know. At least not yet. So that's another reason why these rallies and marches are so important, because we can actually see, and we can bump elbows with, and we can talk to, and we can interact with real fucking people, and not what might or might not be a bot on the internet. So, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, Christina. Christina says, well, with weed, if you're smoking, you probably can get emphysema or something from the carbon monoxide, but I don't know if you die from the weed itself. I think you can OD on water. So to say that you can't OD on marijuana, I think you can OD on anything. If you can OD on water, you can OD on anything. I'm just saying. Roxanne79 says, now you can take edibles to reduce emphysema, etc., which is a blessing because it does take a toll on your lungs. Yakov Ishrozez says, I've been using cannabis most of my life. It's not for everyone. Now, I'm not saying that you're all ODing. I'm just saying I think it's possible that someone could OD on marijuana. Like I said, if you can OD on water, you can OD on anything. So anyhow, this is Yashov again, or Yakov says, I've consumed well over 300 milligram edible and smoked at least 3 grams in a single day. and I just had a good night's sleep. Witchy woman Kimchi says, I have fallen asleep many times from pot. Never got anywhere near a harmful dose. Now some people can't handle it and freak out. All drugs can have side effects depending on your body's makeup. The Soulcraft says, yeah, Marley died riddled with cancer, unfortunately. Again, I don't know what I was thinking. The Soulcraft says Peter Tosh was murdered. Maybe I'm thinking of Peter Tosh. Maybe that's who I was thinking of. Was that in the late 90s or early 2000s? I don't know. Yakov Ishazev says, says Roxanne 79, sure, due to my wife works in the cannabis industry and I'm medical, so we get samples and cannabis tax-free. That sounds like a good deal. John Glad, hey, glad to see John Glad. He says, late, forgot it's Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesdays we come on early. Tuesdays and Thursdays we do the early. Karen Ames says weed should be legal everywhere. I agree. Karen Ames says, okay, I'm heading up. I'm not going to read the rest of that. I'm not reading the rest of that. I'm not reading my competition. Jolie says, Trucker John has channel memberships. Yes, we do. It's starting as low as $1.99 a month, by the way. And super chats, as we've seen today. We had some super chats, and thank you all for doing that. And you can support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing, which is a great way to share. It's free. That doesn't cost you a dime. And that's just as important to like, subscribe, and share. And also, you can support the show by going to that Buy Me a Coffee link. And there's also further down the PayPal link. Thank you, Jolie, for putting that in there. Great ways of supporting the show. Witchy Woman says, I can't do alcohol. It makes my clothes fall off. I'd rather laugh myself to sleep eating Doritos. DPD 5844, they need to place these billboards on every expressway up and down every interstate, show people what the fuck they're losing in real time. Yakov Ishrazev says, he said my name perfectly. Well, thank you so much. I'm trying. I probably didn't. I'm trying to say it right. I'm trying my best. Witchy Woman Kimchi says 24 minutes left on the goal. Oh, yeah. So we made the goal. So that's how far behind I was. I was 24 minutes behind. There's Petrazi 20 with the $5 super chat. Thank you, Petrazi, again. Another yippee going out to you. Yippee. DBD 5844 says, oh, Jolie, I would be enraged if I saw that. I may even do a little graffiti. That's totally mid-thread. I don't know what happened because I skipped down. Maybe I should go back and just see what happened. I don't know. Speaking of billboards, someone put a Charlie Kirk billboard up in my town. I'm furious. I have to pass by it every day. Well, you know what? I don't know. Talk about picking your battles, and there's only so much you can do. If I saw that, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think I would just ignore it. But there was a thing, like when Kirk was first killed, like within a day or two after he was killed, there was one of the, not on the strip, but one of the off-strip casinos. I think it was Sunset Station. They have a big electronic, like billboard out in the front. And they had a big picture of Charlie Kirk, like a memorial, in memoriam thing, with his date of birth, year of birth and year of death, that thing, type of thing. And they got so much flack. They caught so much flack. They really, Sunset Station, they probably had no idea, really. They just knew that this was a young guy. But this is probably what I'm kind of giving them a benefit of the doubt, I guess. They probably just thought, okay, this is a young guy. He was popular popular podcaster, and he was a Christian, and he was horribly murdered, and they saw the, how this was a big story, So they again, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. So they put this in memoriam picture of Charlie Kirk, and they probably had no idea what kind of flack they were going to receive, because they took that down almost like immediately, like the same day, later that day or the next morning. They took it down and never showed it again, because they got so many complaints. People were saying, take that down. We'll never go into your casino again if you don't take that down. This guy was a racist. He was a bigot. He was a misogynist. Take that down, and they took it down. So, but that wasn't like a billboard that someone paid for. That was an electronic billboard that it was very easy for them to just click the delete button or whatever. Sandy Fold says Community Missions is going to reopen the social club on Buffalo Avenue in Niagara Falls, New York. That's great. I think that's great news, Sandy. I'm skipping down because we are at over 2 hours now, and I know people are defecting, so I should probably end the show pretty soon here. Walter Makarovich is here. Hey, Walter, good to see you. Walter says, morning, Trucker John. What the hell kind of president posts himself in an aircraft dumping shit on the American people at a peaceful protest? What a sick SOB. Walter Makarovich, I'll tell you what kind of president does that. An asshole president, a shitty president, a moronic president, a fucking president who really does not give a fuck about anyone but himself, because he is a sociopath in Donald Trump. Total sociopath. And he just is mocking his electorate. He's mocking the American people. And the American people should not take this lightly. We need to rise up, and we need to get this motherfucker out. One of our demands in our protest should be to impeach Trump. Impeach and convict and remove and lock him up. We should be chanting lock him up, just like they did about Hillary. Only this time it's about someone who really deserves to be locked up, and that is Donald Trump. If there's anyone that deserves to be locked up, it's fucking Donald Trump. Goff Marinas here says, fasting every other day sounds hard, but if you don't have medical conditions that dictate, it's very good for you. But if you don't have medical conditions, that, I don't know. Anyhow, but I get you. I get you. Golf Marine says there's such thing as maximum concentration availability. Some things you cannot absorb enough to OD on. Mud says, I've been a weed smoker since I was 12. Must have smoked enough to fill a 747. That has nothing to do with ODing, though. Christina Sangosqua says, I can't use the stuff because THC makes me have such a headache that it's worse to do, but I do like the CBD, like the oils and gummies. Well, there you go. Walter McCarver says, Trucker John, NBA season kicks off tonight on new network. Both games are on NBC. I like basketball, NBA and stuff, but I don't really follow it that much, especially lately. I've kind of limited my viewing to basically baseball and football. I feel like that takes up enough of my time. And so I don't really get too much into basketball or hockey or really any other sports. Baseball and football have always been my two favorite sports, even as a kid. So, and like I say, I feel like those take up enough of my time as it is. And so I kind of limit it to those two sports. Speaking of which, I did lose another game in fantasy football. I think I'm 1-4 now. I'm getting my ass kicked in my fantasy football league that my son put together. But the good news is the Rams did win quite convincingly on Sunday against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe it is. Are they Jacksonville? Yeah. And And the Dodgers will be starting the World Series, I believe, on Friday night in Toronto against the Toronto Blue Jays. So go Dodgers. Mad Max says, I'll have to add that song to my Fuck Pedophiles collection. Mad Max says, not from this country, but still, hell yeah, witchy woman. I'm kind of mid-thread on some stuff. Golf Marine says, I'd climb the sign and paint a big question mark on it. Mud says, we gave MAGA enough of the benefit of the doubt. Now Trump says he has a Nazi streak. Enough. Anyhow, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about Sunset Station and whoever it was that put that memoriam up. I gave them a benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving Trump the benefit of the doubt. I'm not giving Stephen Miller the benefit of the doubt. P-Dub says, Mad Mac, I had 2 flags on my scooter. We are taking back the American flag, proudly displayed at our local No Kings Day last Saturday. And I really loved how I saw some videos of, there were a couple of MAGAs that had incidents with some of the crowds. One kind of ran her car, kind of didn't really run into anybody, but I think she's the one. One of them was brandishing a gun, and then there was another lady who did something. And I think in both of those cases, the crowd started just chanting, USA, USA, USA. And I'm like, yes, that's what we need to do. We need to just shout, USA, USA, let everyone know we love America too. We are patriots too. The Republicans and the maggots, they don't get to own, the American flag and patriotism. They can't take that away from us. And we can start singing that fucking Lee Greenwood song too. Because I used to like that song, actually, before Trump ruined it. I think we should take that motherfucking song back too, other than the fact that Lee Greenwood is a fucking maggot, and I don't really want to give him any, I guess, more money or whatever. I don't know, but hey, it is Lee Greenwood. Talk about like waffle. He might just come back to our side if we started playing his music. Chris Doug's here. Hey, Chris Doug, good to see you. Says just finished 5 mile hike. Was lurking. Good on you, Chris Doug, for that 5 mile hike. I admire you for that. Christina Sangosqua says, I want to get in touch with Midas Touch because they're lawyers, right, and try to see if we can start a lawsuit against Carolyn Levitt, calling Democrats terrorists. It's a defamation of character. That would be interesting to see what they say about that. DPD 5844 says, I also encourage people to unsubscribe to Spotify and Tubi because they are bombarding the airways with advertising for Nazi Gestapo. So yeah, I'm just skipping down, guys, in the chat a little bit. I think I may have caught up though. Josh says, Spock, I need to top my indoor plants again. So we're getting into a lot of plant talk, growing talk, pot talk. Golf Marine says, Mr. Spock, I had a weird hermaphrodite that developed buds of pollen. So this is where we're getting into pot grow talk here. Witchy Woman, I hate that song where at least I know I'm free. This motherfucker thinks that only Americans are free. It's propaganda. Well, I think you're entitled to your opinion. All right, guys. I'm at the end of the chat, so that means show's over. I'm the dog that caught the tailpipe. I have caught the tailpipe. And it's time to end the show. Golf Marie says, how's the economy going in LV? It's the same as always. I mean, I've talked about that. It's slower than usual. I did talk to a truck driving recruiter that just sent me a text because I guess I was on the my name is on there from I guess Indeed or whatever. I don't know. I forget which one it is. And anyhow, he texted me about their company, asking me if I wanted to come drive for them. And so we got into a conversation, actually, on a text conversation, which let me know that this is a real person. It's not like some sort of bot or whatever. Because I asked him, I said, well, how is the economy? How is truck driving doing right now? Because I'm hearing that that companies are going out of business and that drivers are not getting work. That the freight is just really bad and right now. So what's it like, and why would I want to come drive for you if things are so bad? And the guy actually answered me, and he's like, and he said, yeah, well, a lot of companies have gone under, and a lot of drivers have gone under, but according to this is what he's saying. And remember, he's a recruiter; he's trying to recruit me, you know. So, but he was saying like, so that has left like a void that so many people have quit that there is a lot of freight. He's claiming that their company still has a lot of freight and they still run a lot. And I told him, I haven't driven since for the last couple of years, since February of 2023, I believe. I go, I haven't driven a truck since then, and I really don't feel like getting back into one because I just don't want to deal with the slow industry. And because I go, you're claiming I'll get 3,000 to 4,000 miles a week. I go, how can you do that if the freight is slow? And he says they're getting it because there's like a shortage of drivers and trucks right now because of all the people that have quit. So, you know, I don't know. So I ended up telling him, well, I'll think about it. So I'm at the think about it stage about maybe, and it would be as a company driver. I would not do it as a independent contractor. So that means everything is on them. And they say they pay 60 cents a mile, which is not too bad for a company. At least, you know, when I started, company drivers were making, this is the early 2000s, company drivers were only making like 25 cents a mile in most of these companies. You know, like Swift and even Schneider's and shit. Before I became an IC, it had gone up to like, I want to say 35 or maybe 38 cents a mile was kind of the going rate. So now if they're doing 60 cents now, I mean, I guess it's okay. And it's like, it's their truck, their fuel, their maintenance. They pay for everything, you know? So if I could do 3,000 miles a week times 60 cents, you know, is that 1,800? I never really even figured that out. Let's see here. Well, anyhow, so I ended up telling the guy that okay, you know, I'm actually told him I'll actually consider maybe driving for these guys. But I don't know. So I don't know if I want to be back in the truck. But my CDL is still good. I've got my medical card is still up to date. I have to keep that up to date to be a taxi driver. I don't know. I can't find it. I was trying to find the calculator, but anyhow, did I went off the screen there. Yeah, 1,800. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. So, I could go use their truck, their gas, their maintenance. They pay for everything. Make $1,800 a week, but I would be on the road all the time, which I don't like. To do 3,000 miles, you're no matter what anybody says, you're humping your ass. Is that the correct terminology? That didn't sound right. To get those 3,000 miles, so you're pretty busy, you know. DPD says, I think if someone is making thousands of dollars a week, why on earth would someone quit that company unless something shady is going on? Well, that's what I was, I kind of questioned, the claim that they were getting 3,000 to 4,000 miles a week. That's what they all say, though. That's what they all say that. But the thing is, it's on their dime. The only thing I'm giving is time, which is very valuable. Time is valuable, but it's not like when I had my truck and I was paying. I was paying for my truck. I was paying every month like $1,600 a month to pay off my truck, and I was paying how many thousands of dollars a month, and like $3,000 a month in fuel, and I was paying so many dollars a month in maintenance, for maintenance and all that. Those were my costs, and so if freight dries up, I still have. Well, I don't have the fuel so much, but and maintenance kind of slows down because you're not driving, but you still have that fucking truck payment. That's $1,600 you got to come up with. So that, but if you're a company driver and there's no freight, then you're not working, so I guess you're not getting paid, but at least I don't have a $1,600 payment looming over my head, or I don't have a bunch of maintenance that I have to worry about, or, I don't have to worry about if I had an inspection on my truck and I get shut down and I've got to make a repair. That's all on the company that pays for that. So if I did do it, I would just do it as a company driver. And if it turns out to be bullshit, then I can just say, okay, I'm out of here. Fuck you. You lied to me. I'm not getting anywhere near 3,000 miles a week. I'm sitting in a fucking truck stop waiting for my load for a new load for 3 days. Are you kidding me? So, I could just say, so fuck you. I'm out of here. Come get your truck. I wouldn't do that. I would take the truck back so they don't ding my my DVR. But yeah. There's that. But I'm kicking it around the idea. I really see if I did do it. And let's say I was able to make $1,800, I would just do that for a few months and then quit. Hopefully that guy's not watching this live stream. Hopefully that recruiter, because I'm sure they don't want to hear that. But I would definitely be in it for the short haul, just to make $1,800 a week, and then buy me a fucking car. That's really what I would do, and then I would just say, okay, laters. Kiki Streets chime in and says, makes sense. Truckers are getting more pay since many were kicked out of the USA. Kicked out of the USA. I was kicked out of the U. Speaking of Bruce, right? Kicked out of the USA. 007 code says Sandy Falls. Can't wait until GOP comes out with a song saying, I'm proud to be made of shit. I'm proud to be made of shit. Mad Max says, you were an owner-operator, so you had lots of other costs that take away all the good-sounding cash. Yeah, I just went over that. You have all that overhead, lots of overhead. So when freight slows, you are fucked. Unless you have a really good But even then, you're still fucked. But if you have a good, rainy day account, a good money in reserves, which I always try to keep some money in reserves, a few grand, but you could go through that really fucking easy, really fucking quick. And, Mr. Sparks says TJ doesn't get much money now. Hal Sparks gets about 100K plus from YouTube alone, but he's talented and works his ass off. Right. If I were as talented as Hal Sparks, I could make 100K a year. Who says I'm not talented? I just came up with a Bruce Springsteen parody, motherfucker. On the fucking fly. Put that in your pipe and smoke it, Hal Sparks and Mr. Spock. I just did a fucking Bruce Springsteen parody on the fucking fly. You don't think that takes talent? Christina, well, 2 hours, John. Yeah, I'm at 2 hours and 21 minutes. Thank you, Christina, for the update. Golf Marine says no one's offering a square deal anymore. It's like George Collins said, I'm servicing thus customer. Christina says, laughing out loud, that's got to be a song kicked out of the USA. See? Christina liked it. Christina's son says, laughing out loud, he wasn't saying you're not talented, John. Just that Hal Sparks had a name previous because he was an actor. I was an actor. I did a little acting here and there. I know I'm not. I know I don't have the name recognition of Hal Sparks. I know. Let's see. Josh says, I like the idea. Make a bunch of money and buying a nice vehicle, but get a sweet ass van instead of a car. Yeah, then that'd be a good backup place to live, right? Tim Farrell's there. Hey, Tim Farrell. I prefer Baby Hal. Baby Hal hasn't appeared in a long time. Mrs. Spock, it takes time, TJ. Golf Marine says, I want to see Saul T attack Ficus's last tooth. 007 Kevin says, Christina and Weibel, let's see how many people leave the party after that one. Laughing out loud, they're made of what? Jolie says, I miss the character filters Hal used to do. He used to get several characters a night. So fun. Mad Max says, you are talented, TJ. I could talk to a camera for over 2 hours and dare say lots of others would not be able to. Thank you, Mad Mac. Thank you. Christina says, I did a little acting too, but I wasn't any good at it. Well, you know what? I think I'm a pretty damn good actor, by the way. Witchy Woman says, Jolie, for someone who never does substances, Hal plays a great stoner and a great drunk. Did you say someone should play a stoner? Tommy. Hey, Tommy, do you remember that thing we used to do, about the stoner? Remember that little bit we did about the stoner? Tommy. Wake up, Tom. Tommy's not, he's sleeping. And scene. Robert Perez says, but don't worry, Trucker John, you're still a sexy guy. Thank you. I don't know. Golf Rain, they're made of people. Was that a Soylent Green reference? Oh, spoiler alert. I forgot to issue a spoiler alert on that one. It's only a 50-year-old movie, folks. Relax. Christina Sensgo says, I think I'd be a fabulous comedian if I could stop laughing at my own jokes before I could spit them out. Tim Farrell says, I hate when Hal sings. I know he likes to show off his pipes, and he sure can sing, but I usually have headphones on. He is so loud it hurts. I find it inconsiderate. No need to be so loud. He does get a little loud. He does get a bit loud. Yeah, if you're wearing headphones, I could understand that could be a problem. Golf Marine says, I'm starting to suspect you might be a pufferfish. Mr. Spuck says, I tried improv classes. Oh, I did some improv. Kimchi, I wanted to fulfill a bucket list to do a comedy bit on stage. I tried practicing in front of my family. My son and brother heckled me so bad I gave up on it. Mr. Spock. Oh, that's kind of sad. That's kind of sad. Witchy Woman says, Spock, that was mean, but I'm sure they were trying to prepare you. Anyhow. Hey, did someone talk about filters? Yeah, full disclosure, I'm not a filter. I'm actually real, but some people think I'm a filter. But I'm a real dude. I'm a real live talking Mr. Cookie. That's right. I know you didn't. People are like, do they really exist? Well, I'm right here to tell you. I'm here in the flesh. I'm here in the cookie. We do exist. I tell Trucker John all the time he should start using more filters, and he doesn't listen to me. Because I'm like, well, I can't always be there. People think I'm a filter, but I can't always be there. I'm, I've got a real job, man. I'm doing 9 to 5. I'm working. I can't always be there. But Trucker John should probably do some filters. And maybe he'll get that 100K if he did more filters. But he won't listen to me. He's a stubborn dude. He's a bit stubborn. He's set in his ways. So what can I do? What can I do? But sometimes he might listen later on. Sometimes it takes a while for things to sink into old Trucker John's head. He's a bit thick-skulled. He's a little thick-skulled, if you ask me. No, I'm not. So the color filter is disabled. It says. I don't know what that meant. Something popped up on the screen, but I'm seeing I'm here. And just to let you know, I'm not a filter either. I'm real Paul the Purple Beard guy. I'm a real dude. But I don't know. What other filters could he do? What could Trucker John do filter-wise? I mean, he's pretty much a walking filter, if you ask me. He could just be a filter. Maybe Trucker John's a filter. I don't know. But, what are you going to do? Anyhow, I was at the rally last week. I saw. Did you guys see? Well, I guess you didn't see me, but I was at the rally last week, and I was wearing my purple beard because it's real. It's really on there. So and people were like, "Hey, I felt a little famous." I was out. Actually, I felt famous. I was out. I was there early. I was at the rally in Vegas, and I don't know what happened to Trucker John, but I was out there. And people were going, "Hey, there's Paul the Purple Beard guy." I felt seen. I really felt seen. So thank you to all the people out there that saw me and said hi to me at the rally. It was great seeing you guys. I don't know what happened to Trucker John. He was behind me. One thing, we were coming out together. We were coming to the thing. He was right behind me, and then next thing I knew, he was gone. I don't know what happened to him. He said something about he missed the bus or he got something to eat. I don't know what the deal was. But I was there. Yeah, that's right. Old Paul the Purple Beard guy was there. For show. Josh says, we the audience demand purple eyebrows. Well, like I said, this is all natural. I don't really control what color my whiskers come out, my beard comes out. And I don't think, just for men, I haven't seen any purple. I don't believe they have a purple just for men. And I'm not going to use some girly dye. Okay, I would only use just for men because I'm a man, and I don't think just for men has purple. Okay, but thank you so much for the suggestion. nevertheless. Hey, have you guys, has everyone, speaking of subscribing, has everyone subscribed? Please do. Please do so. Please consider subscribing. That would be great if you would do that. Hit that subscribe button, like, share, all that good stuff, so that the purple beard community can be aptly and appropriately represented. All right. Back to you, Trucker John. All right. Thanks, Paul, the purple beard guy. Thank you, Tough Cookie, for coming in, chiming in, and thank all of you out there in. There you go. It's taken a while. I pushed the button, and it kind of is taking a sweet time loading for some reason. There you go. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you. Thanks for all the fan funding. We made the goal today, guys. That's a really awesome thing. We got, let me just go over the list real quick. We got Marsha with a 99-cent super sticker. Yippee. Witchy Woman, $2 super chat. Yippee to Witchy Woman. Michael McAndrews, $10 super chat. Yippee. Michael McAndrews, 19-month Truckerversary as a member. Thank you. Happy Truckerversary to Michael. Happy Truckerversary to Jolie at 20 months. Yippee. Michael McAndrews coming in at $11, his second one of the day. This one, $11 super chat. Yippee to Michael McAndrews. Thank you so much. Anna Moore, $2 super chat. Yippee to Anna Moore. And then Petrazi 20, which helped close us out and get the goal. $5 super chat. Yippee to Petrazi 20. So thank you guys so much for that. And let me go back to the main screen here, main chat screen. Okay, that's it for today. I'm going to go ahead and end the show. And Sandy Folks, you're not interested in hockey? Not so much, not too much. I mean, no, I'm not. But it looks like a fun sport. I've watched it a few times. It is a fun sport. Like I said, I just don't have time to go watch every sport. I pretty much keep it at baseball and football. And that's really all. I kind of other than hockey playoffs, basketball playoffs, I might watch a little bit of that, but you know, I can't. I don't have time to watch everything. So, but thanks guys for being here. We'll be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Now I'm not sure. I need to verify if they're spraying tomorrow or if it's a week from tomorrow. If they're spraying tomorrow, then I might not do a show. It might be, remember like last week and I went down to Sam's Town and we had that whole fiasco. So I don't know. But anyhow, just plan on 11 a.m. tomorrow, Pacific time. You know, there's a great thing on YouTube, the posts, the community posts. I post on there. People should start utilizing that more. I'm talking to you, Hal Sparks. People should start using the post more. And using that to communicate if a show is going to be on or not on or whatever. So right on YouTube, you guys, if you can look at the posts, you can see when people post stuff, right? So if something comes up, I'll post something on YouTube. All right. If there's not going to be a show tomorrow at 11, but probably only if they're spraying here, and then either I'll do an impromptu from Sam's Town or whatever. I don't know. All right, guys. You guys are awesome. Thanks for being here again. Thanks for all the likes, the subscribing, the sharing. We got to a pretty good surplus, like the good Democrats that we are. And I appreciate you. I think I have to take down a couple things here. And so all we have left to do is the words of wisdom. So this is where you guys get your pad out and your pen out, and you should write these down. They're really good, and they're words to live on, words to live by. You know, this is sort of like, you know, like you're getting like sage wisdom of a Buddhist priest and a shaman and I don't know, and the Pope all rolled into one. Talking about laughing at their own jokes. But anyhow, guys, so thanks for being here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. So here's for today's words of wisdom. Are you ready? All right, here we go. So guys, just remember, first of
Well, it's time to say goodbye. show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So I style of Easter, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I try to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kick. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John Livestream. Yeah, the Trucker John Livestream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream, this is where we win, right here on the Trucker John Livestream. No, this time to say goodbye, the show is coming in. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep, broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food and movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free. So you wanna take a trip down Paradise Road, but it ain't that pretty, it ain't paved with gold. Everybody's got the dirty little secrets, everybody's got some things unknown. But if you ain't real careful, baby, it'll cut you down to the bone. Under all those bright lights, you've gotta learn to ignore the glitter. It's all about fight or flight, and you don't wanna do either. So go on down to Paradise Road, it'll make you wish that you were young. But all it'll do is make you feel old and regret trading in your love for lust. It's all just a big charade, it's all just one big game, and it ain't about love. It's all about the thrills, it's about staying in the hunt, it's about going in for the kill. So head on down to Paradise Road, that's where your friends are now. They're the people that nobody knows. So go ahead and make your big show. So live it up on Paradise Road, just don't let anyone know. It'll be your dirty little secret, it'll be your guilty little pleasure. Living a secret that the whole world sees, hiding in plain sight among the scum and the thieves. It's so damn hard to ever be pleased. Everyone wants to live the good life, everybody wants a piece of paradise. But where would you run? Where would you hide? What would you do to buy a little more time? Grandiose dreams of happily ever after are really just another day's end. And when the sun goes down, you just lay there wondering, can you really do it all again? You're praying for one last shot, you're hoping for one last big win. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along. Paradise Road is calling, so you better hurry along.
Show's over. I'm out of here, folks. Bye.